able to take control after halftime. What did you kind of see in the third quarter that allowed them to gain separation?
Well, we have to go back and look at it, but I think a lot of it was a couple turnovers here and there. Got them on the fast break runouts. Shots being missed, and then those are long shots equal long rebounds, and so they were able to get out on the break.
What did you make of the physicality of tonight's game?
That wasn't the issue. I thought we did a good job of handling that. The other side of it was more, our ability to get back in transition after some of those shots went up.
Kind of the second, on that note, second straight game where shots aren't falling. Do you sense maybe a little bit of frustration with some of the shots, or maybe the shots that they're not getting or missing around the rim, leading to maybe some lapses on defense? How would you rate maybe this team's maturity in keeping focus on the defensive end?
Well, I think we did miss some around the rim, and I think when you miss those around the rim, you've got guys crashing, and they threw about 4 over the top, and that part of that is the leak out, and so you got to make sure, one, finish, 2, if you don't, they're tapping it out, and that's where those long runouts came into play. But again, I want to go back and look at it, see exactly where there's areas for cleanup, and what adjustments we need to make moving forward.
Moving to the offensive side of the ball, though, you guys obviously didn't shoot the ball particularly well tonight. What did you just make of the looks that you guys were getting and the volume of threes that you guys were taking?
Well, I think we talked about being able to make the quick decision, moving it quick. Guys found themselves with feet set threes in a lot of spaces. So those are the type of looks you want to get. Now, mind you, whether they drop or not, they're the looks that you're wanting to get. But again, we'll go back and look at it, see exactly the type of shots we're getting, the looks we're getting. But again, part of it is the defense. When those shots don't fall, we've got to make the decision, crashing the glass or sprinting back to make sure that they're not with those leak out and run outs.
What went into the decision to start Caleb tonight? Last game, Jalen didn't play. You went with AB. Tonight, you went with Caleb in the starting lineup. Just curious about that choice, I guess.
Well, a lot of that goes into who they have as their guard. So Tyrese Halliburton, his minutes, the way in which he subs in and out of the game, we wanted to make sure we kept the body on him the whole time. So when he subs out right around that 3-minute mark, being able to have Gary on him early helped. And then when you sub back in, you want to be able to make sure if he comes in early, AB is able to sit down and guard that in that position as well. So being able to match a little bit of those minutes, but make sure that, they can overlap with somebody that can also sit down and guard with length, because AB does have that length that he provides.
I know that Jalen, Markelle weren't available tonight, and Paolo and Franz are on the ball a lot. But how much does maybe missing a traditional point guard or someone who's maybe more experienced kind of organizing team, how much does that affect the ability to kind of get into the offense and get quality shots?
Well, I think they did a good job of making calling plays and getting side to side a little bit. Well, again, we have to go back and look at it. I don't know if it was the pressure that was an issue at all. I think our ability to just continue, make or miss shots. I think that's a big portion, and we got a ton of great looks at the rim. Whether we were getting hit or not is one thing, but I think we got a bunch of great looks at that rim.
Coach, back-to-back losses for the first time since the end of January. What message do you give this team after 2 tough losses in playoff-type environments?
The same thing that I would say had we won these games, that we've got to continue to get back to the drawing board, get back to figuring out exactly what we need to do to continue to put ourselves in position to be successful, make sure we're recovering the right way, and then, again, it's just hang our hat on the defensive end. Where can we continue to clean that up?
Is there an expectation about Markelle and Jalen's injury status? Obviously different injuries, but do you guys have an idea of Markelle's injury?
No, what we're going to do is see how they continue to respond to the treatment that they're going through each and every single day.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
We were able to turn the tide and gain separation in the third quarter. What did you see as the difference after halftime?
We got in the way of ourselves that game. I mean, I think that we just we stopped moving that rock. We started trying to get into a lot more isolation, and there are times where that will work, and there are times where it won't. But I mean, that's 2 games straight where we shooting under 40% from the field. It's hard to win like that. And I mean, I think our defense is still solid. We're still holding teams well under their average, but like it's some pivotal possessions there, and then we got to put that ball in the basket at the end of the day. That's gonna help us win some games too.
Paulo mentioned in New York that against the Knicks, you guys didn't react live in game well, and I feel like tonight you guys, obviously they came back and
we went and laid an egg. We laid an egg in that second half. I mean, I thought we had a pretty solid first quarter, even halfway through the second quarter, but then we started getting stagnant. It started turning into, I mean, I'm guilty of it myself, like just hero ball, just, and I think it's coming from a good place. I don't think anyone's out there like, yo, like, forget you, like, I'm gonna go get, it's more of like a, yo, like, I can make something happen. I'm trying to help the team. And so I don't think it's a bad thing, but, we gotta get that flow back on the offensive side, just move that rock. And, obviously missing Jalen and his shooting ability it obviously hurts a little bit, but, we getting some good looks and we just got to make shots.
How do you snap out of that, like, in game? Like, how do you adjust quicker, I guess?
It's adjusting in game is hard, but it's something we're going to have to learn how to do. But, I don't know. I mean, I think it's something that we just got to recognize sooner and, try to remedy that, try to get that ball moving. I think even, when we got down kind of in that fourth quarter, we started playing a little more desperate, but the ball started moving a little bit more, and that's where we were able to find some success. But, we're a good team. We have good players. We got good dudes, and we're going to figure this out. We're going to figure this out.
Were New York and Indiana these last two games?
You said what? My fault.
No, sorry. Were New York or Indiana in these last two games doing anything differently to kind of disrupt that flow? Or were they packing the paint a little bit more? What were they doing maybe to disrupt some of that flow?
I mean, with New York, they just punched us in the mouth. That was really what it was. They came out. I know in that New York game, I think they set tone off rip. I think our first 3 shots of the game, I think they blocked them, or it might have been a little ticky tack foul into a block, but that set the tone in New York. So that was from off the tip ball. But in this game, we started off pretty strong, and then we started getting comfortable, and they played with a sense of urgency, and we didn't. No, you good.
I'm trying to formulate my question here.
You good.
Just looking back at these last two games, against teams that you might see in the playoffs. Did you sense that these games felt different at all with how close we are now to the postseason?
Yeah, I think for us these last 2 games, especially that next game. I'm not taking no credit away from Indiana. Those are both teams we will see in the playoffs. And I just know New York and that physicality. I've never been to playoffs yet, but from just watching that was the level of physicality of a playoff basketball game. And in this game, this was it's a playoff game too. It was a crazy atmosphere, back and forth game, and they ended up getting up and we weren't able to get back in. But it's hard to once a team goes up 15 points, and a good team, it's hard to get back in that game. So we got to do a better job of just keeping it close, or just not letting it get out of hand like that.
Coach talked about it before you came in, talking about the transition defense, how he wanted to see you guys do a better job of that. Indiana leaking out.
I wasn't good today. That second half.
I was going to say, what is your thoughts tonight, just really on the defensive effort tonight?
Man, we just we had some like live ball turnovers, and then they have dudes leaking out, and we just didn't do a great job having that sense of urgency, sprinting back. I'm guilty myself, obviously, and yeah, I know Obi Toppin probably had about 5 or 6 layups where he just kind of just outran everyone and just got up the court, and that can't happen. And that's the team that wants to. That's their play style, and we let them. They were comfortable, and that's when they were able to play their game.
Well, are you guys starting to feel the pressure of the playoffs coming closer, and do you think that's maybe affecting how these last couple of games have gone?
I don't know if I'd say we're particularly feeling just that pressure. I'd just say I think it's definitely some fatigue there when you get to this point in the season. All-Star break, had some time off, but just got, what is that? How many games, was that 10 games we've played since the break? And, just a little fatigue, a little bit of comfort. We had some wins. And then, you get comfortable. And, that's the best part of this league is that once you get comfortable, you're going to get knocked right off your feet. And I think that's what's happened to us these last 2 games. So we got to go pick it back up and put it back together.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
All right, y'all.